What's going on, guys? Earth's Mightiest Podcast is back in your earlobes. The Variant Issue, episode 20, powered by Rageworks. To my left, as always, this week, the one, the only, Jimbo Slice, the Scorpion to my Sub-Zero.
One of my all-time favorite arcade games ever. Love that fucking game. That game is the truth, that and Street Fighter.
The intro music, as always, provided by the one and only Schematics. The track was Crash Course. As always, you can follow Schematics on Twitter, twitter.com/Schematics, SKAMMADIX. And if you need beats of your own, you can email him schematics@gmail.com. Mr. Slice, what's the deal?
The deal is I have a little correction section to make, an apology to all the nerds, geeks, mutants, and freaks who tune in. Apparently, a couple weeks ago, I had said that that Image was putting out a book for 160 clams, and it wasn't a book. It was actually a blind box, which I knew about, and I don't know how I fucked up that information, but I did. It was a blind box filled with different books, prints, all kinds of shit from Image, but all current stuff. Nothing from like Savage Dragon or Spawn or anything like that. Stuff that I'm not into, stuff that I wouldn't even bother reading. But apparently out of all those blind boxes, there were 500 that came with some variant books.
Okay.
That apparently I don't really know anybody that got any, because apparently there was some kind of confusion with the packaging. They messed up something where people were getting repeated books in the same box.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of unhappy customers out there with that. But apparently also a couple days before that box was supposed to be released, which was that Wednesday, over the weekend right before that Wednesday, there was already shit like up on eBay. So everybody was like, well, how the fuck did these people have access to this shit already when it's supposed to be only released on Wednesday? So, you know, yeah, the old hokey doke is at it again, you know.
That's it. Circle jerk.
Yeah, and like I said, it retailed for $160, but the black market flip was like going for like $350.
Wow.
Which I was like blown away by, because I wouldn't even drop $160 on it, let alone $350, you know?
That's pretty insane, that markup.
Yeah, man. So that's what it is. So
secondary market.
I just wanted to correct that real quick, actually, and I came bearing gifts for you today.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah, little something.
Oh, this is pretty dope.
Yeah, I really like that print on that shirt. I thought it was very ill.
Classic Spidey print on a very dope tee. Thank you, Mr. Slice. Yeah, I appreciate it.
No doubt. I got you a double XL. I know you're normally a size down from that, but this double XL doesn't look like a true double XL, so nope. I feel like it'll fit you perfect.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No doubt, man. Enjoy that. Sliding right on into new comic book day and variants. You got your pen ready?
Yes, sir.
I just want to let everybody know, while I rattle off all these books and the variants and how much and what's going on, Richie Rage takes the time to jot all this information down and put it up on the website with the link on rageworks.net. That takes a fucking shitload of time.
Nah, it's all right.
So appreciate what he does when you go on the site, or I'll beat the fuck out of you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Boom, right off the bat, DC Batman number 28 drops. The variant cover for this is
nice.
Artwork is amazing. I'm mentioning Batman once again. I forget the number, but I forget what Batman book it was, but it was the key issue. In case anybody doesn't know, Batman proposed to Catwoman.
That's right.
That was a huge thing. So I know that drummed up a lot of attention for this book, so I'm mentioning it for the DC heads. This is disturbing that this has a second printing, but I'm going to mention it because it is. Batman and Elmer Fudd special number 1 got a second printing. What the fuck are you people into? Who reads this shit? I don't want to read a book about fucking Batman and Elmer Fudd, but to each his own. So fucking bizarre. DC Bombshells number 32 drops today, August 2nd. Damn, I can't believe we're in the 8th month of the year already, man.
Yep.
This is fucking crazy.
What number was that?
Bombshells number 32.
Wow, that book is on a 32-issue run already?
Yo,
wow.
Meanwhile, a lot of the other books are only up to like 11 and 12, maybe 15.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean, that's a hot item right now.
Yep.
So I guess they're trying to crank that out as much as possible and squeeze that lemon dry.
Yeah, I mean, when we were at Toy Fair, the overwhelming amount of DC Bombshell stuff they were cranking out, from little figurines to full on action figures to statues.
I wonder if the book is
pops.
actually worth reading though. Like, is it a good read?
What's weird with that stuff? Whenever I look at DC Bombshells or any of that, I always think of like Elseworlds when they did all those alternate takes on all those different stories.
Right.
Superman, Red Sun, all the different Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I always look at it, and people really dig that stuff, especially on the DC side. I know a lot of hardcore DC fans like all that alternative history, all those
bizarro,
all the crazy,
or like the Injustice book. It's like an alternate reality.
Yep, all
I'm
that
not
crazy
into it,
stuff.
Man. Deathstroke number 22 drops, which I hear it's a decent story. It's a little kind of all over the place, but I hear it's decent overall. Yo, this dude on the Deathstroke cover, do you know who the hell this is? Because I don't.
Oh, that's Dr. Light.
Oh, see, you would know. I'm not a DC guy like that.
Yeah, Dr. Light is a real piece of shit.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Sounds like I like him.
Rapist, killer.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't like him.
He was part of the I believe it was the either Final Crisis or Infinite Crisis. I'm a little rusty with that, but he raped the wife of Elongated Man, who I know there's a lot of jokes there. With Elongated Man, yes, which I always call Bootleg Plastic Man.
That name has to be one of the worst fucking names in the history of superheroes.
Well, don't worry, because you'll be hearing a lot more of it because he's showing up on The Flash this season.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for fucking spoiling that,
Well,
pal.
that's not a spoiler, though, because...
It's not?
No, not at all, because that was everywhere.
Yeah, it was everywhere. Apparently, I wasn't looking everywhere or hearing it because this is the first time that I'm fucking hearing this shit.
Well, Jesus Christ, man, you're the fucking guy with all the intel. I thought you would have heard it first and then yelled at me that somebody told you.
Dog, I purposely avoid all of that information.
You purposely avoid it, but it ends up falling in your lap.
Nothing falls on my lap. Just so everybody knows, before we started to fucking record, okay, Rich pulled out a fucking gun and held it in my mouth and said, boy, you're going to watch all these trailers, and fucking made me watch all the San Diego Comic-Con trailers, which I've been avoiding like crazy. Fucking Scavone sends me links. I'm like, I'm not watching it. What do? I come over here, and I'm fucking held prisoner.
But it was worth it.
I don't know if it was worth it.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we will. Speaking of Injustice 2, Injustice 2 number 7 drops. Once again, I'm fucking aggravated because Injustice 2 number 4, I told you what happened to me.
Yeah, you stopped.
And then my boys over at Best Comics, they dug in the vault and reordered the book for me, and the book that showed up was in fucking worse condition than all the stores in the crappy conditions that their books were in that day.
Wonderful.
So I guess it's not meant for me to read number 4, and if I don't have number 4, guess what? I ain't reading the fucking story without it. I ain't reading it. Yeah, exactly. I ain't reading it. So, you know what? I guess it's just time for me to cancel that fucking book because I'm not reading an incomplete story. It's just not happening.
Nope.
Doesn't make sense to me. Over on the side of Marvel, we have Black Panther number 1, which is a True Believers cover for $1. $1, Black Panther number 1, and that is the Jack Kirby cover.
Oh, nice. Real old school.
Yeah. I know, like, the older cats seem to love Kirby and his style. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it the way the older heads do.
Yeah, it's weird because I always look at it and I think of old DC Superpowers action figures whenever I see his style.
That style definitely reminds me of those action figures.
Yep.
The like with the Mr. Freeze where you put him in the freezer and he actually turns blue.
Yep. Absolutely.
Another True Believers by Kirby cover as well is Captain America Lives Again for $1, and I actually remember this book when it came out. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I remember that cover. Once again, like if you have a little kid who wants to get into reading books and you don't want to throw the $3, $4, or $5 mark down, it's $1, and you can read the story.
Yep, $1 is all it takes.
$1 is nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to start buying them again just to read them for $1.
And I also think that those books are also very good if kids are interested in learning how to draw superheroes, because that classic style
right,
gets replicated. If you remember, there used to be a book, and I remember I had it because I bought it for my brother. It was called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way.
Yeah, I have that.
So and the basic blocks to draw a character would be the squares, the circles, and then boom, when you're done, it's a character, and you're just like, what the fuck did I just do?
The majority of artists that I know, that's how they draw. they start drawing the shapes and then kind of fill in
My
the
brother does
blanks. I can't draw that way. That's not the way I do
He actually
it.
has like the wooden mannequin in the circles.
Yeah,
and he draws
I
it.
cannot. That's not the way I draw. I just kind of look at something.
You freehand.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. My brain doesn't function that way. I'm mentioning all of these for you. I'm surprised that you didn't send me an email on these. Champions 11 gets a Marvel vs. Capcom cover.
You know what's funny?
I'm shocked that you didn't fucking send.
I'll tell you why that happened. Because I heard about the Marvel vs. Capcom covers from third-party info because neither Marvel nor Capcom sent me shit.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, there's my answer.
So there you go.
So I'm assuming they're doing this to pump up the video game.
Yep, which comes out in September.
Now, Champions, like I said, Champions number 11 gets his Marvel vs. Capcom cover. I know this is Nova. I do not know who he's fighting. I'm sure you do.
He's fighting Zero from Mega Man X.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought it was, but they made him not so cartoony looking.
Yep.
He has like a very anime look to him.
Yeah, the new graphics for the game make them look a little bit more aggressive,
right? Yeah. So I'm going to mention all these books for you because I know you love that game as well as I do. I don't know if I love that particular version of that game, but this is all you. Generation starts today, all right? This is where they're going to be reintroducing classic characters back into the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, the legacy stuff.
Yeah, I don't really like the way they're doing this. I'm always bitching and whining about something. So the first generations come out is Banner Hulk and Totally Awesome Hulk #1.
Right.
Which is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of and seen in my life. I hate this concept. It's a stupid fucking idea. I hate the fact that there's two Hulks. This idea sucks. I can't wait till this fucking gets scrapped. But you know what? All these young bucks, they love Totally fucking Awesome Hulk. Well, you know what? This is the Hulk that they're fucking growing up with, who I fucking hate.
And that was something you and I, we've talked about off air quite a bit. That we're reaching, we're in the golden age where we're getting to see all the stuff we grew up with on the big screen, on TV. Everybody's consuming it. Everybody loves it, and it's great. But in the same instance, in that same fire, Marvel is forging new paths for new fans. So what's happening is it's almost like a changing of the guard. Like
I hate it.
Yeah, like we're sitting here and we're watching it before our eyes.
I feel like they're pushing us into a grave.
That it in a way I can definitely understand that feeling, but I also look at it because they're creating all these characters and they're also just making them easily accessible for a lot of these kids who are searching for meaning. In 2017, there's more bullying and more social unacceptance than when we had growing up. Like when people hated other people when we were growing up, they were really in your face about it. But now with social media and hiding behind keyboards and hiding behind fake profiles and all this other shit, people, kids get bullied a lot and they're not seeing what we saw. Like we gravitated towards comics and stuff because we felt connections with those characters. And the kids, they do for the most part, but I think they're trying to do it more so to give them something newer to hold on to. And that's not the case across the board. That's what I'm seeing a lot of with like kids that like Miles Morales Spidey, or they like Totally Awesome Hulk is weird because the people that I know like him, they just like the way it's written, not so much the character, which whatever. But a lot of people that I feel that like Miles Morales Spider-Man or Miss Marvel.
Don't call him Spider-Man. don't do that. He's not Spider-Man.
They find a kinship with those characters because they can relate to them on that level.
How so?
From a visual standpoint, from people just feeling a kinship to people that look like them. It's weird, but it happens.
Oh my God. The social justice warrior fucking war continues to march on.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I'm not even saying
Cry me a motherfucking river.
I'm not even saying it from that standpoint. A lot of what happens nowadays is that, and people have talked about this. Growing up, I'll give you an example, and I don't want to beat it up too much because we got other shit to cover, but think about it. Growing up, when you saw Barbie in a store, Barbie was only one color. No, but think about it. Barbie was only one color. Ken was only one color. And whenever you would get other Barbies of other colors, they were bootleg ones that you get at the dollar store that your aunts would bring over, or
I know my aunts didn't bring me no fucking Barbies. I don't know about you.
But I'm talking about like the relatives. They would always bring you like the oh, he likes He-Man, and you'd get like the Bodega He-Man,
Right.
like shit like that. So now
I definitely got a Radio Shack Galvatron.
exactly.
But I wasn't mad at that.
Right, but
I didn't have shit anyways.
Right, but that's how it was. But now, a lot of girls and a lot of people, and I use girls in particular because there's more things that are relatable for that. So like Barbies now, there's white Barbie, brown skin Barbie, there's Asian Barbie.
I want to fucking read.
Oh, here we go.
I want to fucking read that on the box where it says brown skin Barbie.
Well, you know what it'll be?
Put a shrimp on the Barbie.
It'll be like her name is like, Maria, because we got to make sure it's Maria
Valdez.
Yeah, Maria Valdez or Maria Velasquez. It's always like Barbie's friend Maria, but still, at least,
just for everyone to know this, once again, I feel like I have to say this. Rich is 100% fucking Puerto Rican.
Yes.
I myself also have Puerto Rican DNA in me, in case anybody was wondering. And Mexican blood in me, all right?
But that's what happens, a lot of times. I mean, my own sisters, even though both of my sisters are handicapped, we always tried to make sure that the toys they got and stuff, they got, regular Barbies, but they also got dolls and characters that were relatable to them, just to help them comprehend certain things better. And I did that mostly because of more so the handicaps than for any sort of acceptance. But still, it's like when people move into neighborhoods where their ethnicities are, they just want to feel a kinship.
Yeah, I don't fucking care.
But that's because you're past that. You're past that.
Yeah, I'm way fucking past that.
As am I. But
I'm very colorblind when it comes to the real world.
Right.
But when it comes to the fucking comic book world, I'm as racist as they fucking come. I fucking hate every reincarnation of every original character that Marvel is doing. I hate them all.
Well, I'm glad you said that, only because I want to add to that, in the sense that my gripe has always been the fact that instead of crutching on established characters, like I've said in previous episodes, just create new ones that people can relate to.
That's what I've been saying.
Or
create some new shit.
Or let's go a step further. Take the characters you have that are those ethnicities and promote them more aggressively.
It's just fucking lazy to me.
But on
lazy.
The same token, the same people that want that representation should, again, cliched as it is, support the medium. Because you and I have talked about it on
100%.
numerous episodes. How many times is everybody all of a sudden into Black Panther and everybody's pro Black Panther? How many books of Black Panther have been fucking canceled? How many books of Black Panther are in dollar buckets when we go to cons? How many action figures have worn pegs numerous times? Same thing with Luke Cage. Give me a fucking break.
I'm enraged that there's an Asian Hulk. I'm in fucking rage that there's a Boricua fucking Spidey. All right? I won't even call him that. He's the Boricua bug in my eyes. I'm enraged that almost every classic character, there's a female version to them. This shit just enrages me. I fucking hate it. Make up some new shit. How about that? Leave the OG characters alone. Make up some new shit. Period.
Well, there's only one notable exception to that I kind of look at a little differently.
I would be just as fucking enraged if they turned Black Panther into a
White Panther.
Fucking honky from Alabama. Okay, a white honky from Alabama.
White Panther.
Straight out the fucking trailer.
But see, that's like, here's an example. Like X-23. X-23 was an established character, fully established. They gave her an origin. She ran on her own for a while. She took up the mantle of Wolverine to honor Wolverine. Different set of circumstances. But just changing a character for the sake of changing one.
I don't dislike X-23. I hate that they call her Wolverine.
Well, right, but she only took up the mantle to honor her father.
Yeah, I get that. I don't care.
Similar to like what they did with Hawkeye, the two Hawkeyes, But I just feel that if you're going to continue that story, or even with where Blade now has a daughter.
That's news to me.
Yeah, they're going with something, and they're creating that narrative because, according to what's been said, if they want to do Blade on the big screen again, it's a good way to get older Wesley Snipes still involved,
right?
And then introduce, you know what I mean? So there's a lot to be said. I just feel that take your time and introduce new characters, or big up the characters you have, but to the fans, and I say this to you fucks, support the shit. Don't complain about representation and then Black Panther numbers, 1 through 10 are in the dollar bucket, a year after Black Panther was the big thing. Don't fucking do that. If you're going to support the shit, then support it through and through. Buy your Black Panther t-shirts and all that shit. You want to be pro. And I'm being honest, even from a color perspective, you want to be all pro-black, That's great. Be pro-black, but support the fucking books because that's the medium that gets all the other shit done. Period.
Yeah, you know what I say? Fucking support good quality written books.
Yep.
And OG characters.
Yep.
Death to all these fucking abominations. All right? That's what I fucking say.
Well, all right. Fair enough.
I'll take every one of these books with all these characters, throw them on your fucking front lawn and burn them with a fucking cross. I hate them all.
All right.
They suck. Generations has like 13,463 variant covers. Shocker. And one of them is for you, Marvel vs. Capcom cover.
Right.
This one's actually kind of cool. It's freaking Ryu giving Hadouken to Hulk.
Oh, very cool.
That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
I like it.
I like that.
I like the artwork. Shout out to my boy Josh, positive J. He's a big Alex Ross head. It's his favorite artist. And this banner and totally awesome, totally crappy Hulk #1 Generations has an Alex Ross cover. So Josh, if you're listening, that covers all you. Hawkeye #9 gets a Marvel vs. Capcom cover. And then also they're not sharing how much these books are. Like I don't know how much they're gonna cost.
I think they're gonna be $3.99.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? I had to look at the actual picture because it's not in the information. It's $3.99. So 4 shekels on the ducats for these books. And this is Hawkeye. I don't recognize his character either, which I'm sure you do.
That's Dante from Devil May Cry and Morrigan from Darkstalker.
Yeah, Morgan I recognize in the background. There's also another character here who I don't... Oh, it's Rocket Raccoon.
Nice.
He's on there. Iron Fist #6 drops. That's been hasn't been a great story. It's been decent. That book is $4. Nick Fury #5 drops. That story's been decent. Nothing crazy. Decent, you know? Spider-Man #19, which is another Marvel vs. Capcom cover. There's a whole bunch of shit going on here. I don't know. Chun-Li's on the cover. Mega Man's on there. Black Panther's in there. Iron Man, Captain... you know what? It looks like Captain America is fighting the dude from Ghosts and Goblins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he is fighting Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. That's
right?
Correct. Yep, that's him.
There's like a whole lot going on in that.
Wow.
There's a lot going on in that cover.
That's Frank West from Dead Rising.
Yeah,
Rocket.
I figured you would know all these characters.
Rocket Raccoon, Mega Man. Wow, they did a good job with this. Spidey, of course. Very cool. Black Panther I see in there.
So I got a question for you. Do you want any of these covers?
I am not going to get them. No.
I didn't ask if you were going to get them. That's not my question. Do you want any of these covers?
If I had to honestly say, probably the Hulk and Ryu cover. That would probably be the only one that jumps out.
Because he's fisting the Hulk? That's why you want that cover?
Moving along.
Answer my fucking question, boy. All right, Spider-Man Deadpool #20 drops. I stopped reading that book at 13 or 14. Is it a still hot book? I couldn't tell you. But my buddy Joe Kelly didn't do this story, so I don't know. I lost interest in that book. It got too ridiculous. And they got that idiot on the cover that I can't stand. What the hell is his name? They just slapstick.
Yep, slapstick. Rubber chicken in tow.
Yeah, I can't get into that no more. I had to dead that book. Star Wars for the Star Wars heads. Darth Vader #4 drops. Bunch of covers. Star Wars Rogue One #5 drops.
Yep.
For the Star Wars heads that love all that. Thor Ragnarok Prelude #3. This is fucking ridiculous. Now the movies are getting books. Vision #3 gets a director's cut. That seems to be the new popular fucking...
The new buzzword.
I'm gonna get your money, director's cut, whatever.
By hook or crook.
Yeah, and that thing, the Vision #3, the director's cut, $7.
Oh my God.
So I'm assuming that's a thick book. I don't know. And crappy X-Men Gold #9, that drops as well. I'm baffled that people really like that book. Moving on to next Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, August 9th. Overall, on the image side of things, I got one thing I'm mentioning, and that's it. It's Youngblood #4. I know that you were thinking about maybe picking up, what was it? Not Youngblood. What was the other one? Fuck, what the hell's the name of that book?
Not Cyberforce.
No, not Cyberforce. It was like Youngblood. It was like one of those. Not the Wildcats, not Youngblood. It was something else.
Oh, shit. And you showed me the cover,
yeah,
too.
last time.
Damn. I forgot.
I can't remember. Anyways, Youngblood number 4 drops. They're already up to number 4. It's crazy. DC, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey number 13.
Nice.
That's a well-written book. The cover, the standard cover, I feel like James Rodriguez, our boy.
Yeah, that definitely looks like
his style, but
Absolutely.
I feel like he could have freaked it better than they put out. And I actually dig the variant cover. The artwork is much more.
I like that.
Yeah, right. That's dope. I like the variant on that.
Like that. Looks like a little bit of Jim Lee-ish.
Yep. Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
Nice.
Box set 2 drops, and that is $49.99. That's it's 3 books in that box set, and Snyder and Capullo make a great tag team. So if you're into it, $50, it's yours.
Hell yeah, their Batman run was some of the best stories and some of the wildest shit
Absolutely.
I saw. Holy shit.
Flash number 28 drops for those who are reading that. It's got a variant cover and a standard cover. I don't know what's going on with that book. I dropped that book as well. I'm mentioning this for people. This is another one of those things that baffles me. Justice League and the Power Rangers number 5. Who in the fuck is reading this garbage?
Well, I think that book was going to be canceled. That may be the last issue.
Good. Because I'm getting tired of mentioning it. Trash. Mr. Miracle number 1 comes out.
Wow, I haven't heard from Mr. Miracle in ages.
I will be picking that book up. I'm not a big DC guy, but Mr. Miracle is a very ill character, and I definitely dig the cover.
That's pretty dope. Husband of Big Barda.
Right? I like that, and the variant cover is pretty decent.
I like that. That variant is dope.
So I'm gonna check out number 1 of Mr. Miracle.
I like that character, and I feel that for some reason he's the kind of dude that you could do like an experimental like DC movie with and have some fun with it because it ties into the Justice League.
Mr. Miracle is a very interesting character, so to speak.
Very complex.
You could do a lot of things with him.
And
he's like I guess if you want to say the version of Doctor Strange for DC.
Yeah, and he's married to Big Barda, who was one of the Furies for Apocalypse.
Okay,
so that ties
into something. Yep. Yeah, you could do like an offshoot with that.
Yep.
Red Hood and the Outlaws number 13 drops for those who are reading that. Over on the Marvel side of things, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 31, and once again, my boy Positive J, Josh. I don't know what's going on, but Alex Ross seems to be doing all the standard covers for Amazing lately.
Huh.
So that's an Alex Ross cover, if you're listening, Josh. Spider-Man number 31 also gets a Marvel vs. Capcom cover, Rich.
Nice.
And Spidey is fighting somebody who I have no freaking clue is. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that's Frank West from Dead Rising.
I heard you say Frank West on one of the other covers. Who the fuck is Frank West?
Frank West is a guy. He's a reporter.
He's a porn star.
Yeah, no, he's
Frank
a reporter.
West, Frank North.
He's a reporter that's covering like a zombie outbreak, and he ends up just being like stopping the zombie apocalypse.
He's covering a chlamydia outbreak.
Oh, God.
Now, I'm a little confused on this, so maybe you can clarify this.
I will try.
Captain America number 25 comes out.
Okay.
But did you just hear what I said?
Yeah.
Captain America number 25 comes out. The best of my knowledge, there's 2 Captain books. You have Captain America Steve Rogers, which I can't stop talking about because it's one of the illest stories I've ever read, if not the best. And then you have Captain America Sam Wilson.
Yep.
This just says Captain America.
Maybe they're reverting. They're starting to do that legacy reverting.
I don't know.
Possibly.
But it's number 25. Okay. And on the cover is Captain America staring down Sam Wilson.
Yep.
With the shield in the background.
Yep.
So I'm lost. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I think that they're going to probably turn Captain America Sam Wilson into a regular Captain America book because from what I've heard, when this is all said and done, I think Sam Wilson's going to go back to being Falcon.
Well, he should because he's not Captain America.
Right, but he was serving as Captain America at the behest of Steve Rogers, who passed it on to him.
No.
Yeah, I know you hate it.
No.
I know you hate it.
He's Falcon. End of story.
Right.
Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again. Number 3 drops. Defenders number 4 and Edge of the Venomverse, which I think is a stupid ass idea. I don't like that book. I know a lot of people are digging it, not me. Defenders number 4. Defenders so far, just to let everybody know, is kind of following the blueprint of the Netflix series. Normally I wouldn't like that. In this situation I do. So if that interests you, check it out. Generations, again, this is annoying, man. This is so fucking stupid, this idea. I'm not buying these. I'm not supporting this. Generations, Phoenix and Jean Grey, #1.
Right.
Ugh, this is wow, man. People really, I don't know. I'm curious to see how people are gonna react with this crap.
As am I.
I hate it. Do you like this idea? I don't.
I feel that it's an idea that can be done as a one-off if you want to try and reacquaint.
You're using these bootleg characters to reintroduce the original character?
No. I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to use stories from the classics. Like I've heard conflicting reports on how they're approaching this. I've heard that there's stories with the two characters together. I've also heard that they're individual stories of each character with then a story of them together.
Either way, it's both of them in the same book.
Right. I've heard conflicting things. I haven't, I didn't receive too many assets from Marvel about it. So the stuff I did receive was very minimal, very bare bones. So I think for me, if you want to do it and you want to just have some fun with it and do one-shot books, whatever, if they're exactly that, one-shot books. If they're going to be ongoing series, you're just going to confuse everything.
It's just fucking stupid.
Confusing.
Yeah, one-shot book would make sense, even though I still hate the idea. Josh, if you're listening, once again, this crappy book, Phoenix and Jean Grey, it also has a variant for Alex Ross, in case you want to pick that up. Groot #1, which is a True Believers book by, once again, it's a Kirby cover. I'm surprised they're doing this, but I guess, they're trying to get people involved. He's popular from the movie. Yakety yakety yak. $1 for Groot #1, True Believers. I hate this idea. Inhumans Once and Future Kings #1 drops. How many fucking titles do the Inhumans have already now? There's the Royals, there's the Inhumans.
I believe that's now the third or fourth book, and it's like you're really ratcheting up the books before the show starts.
I guess they're trying to get people into the idea of the show, which I'm not hyped on at all. Old Man Logan #27 drops. Again, I hear it's a really, really, really great read. I probably should be reading it, but I'm not gonna because I just don't like that concept.
I actually was tempted to buy the Old Man Logan action figure that they did for Marvel Legends because
you enrage me.
And I'll tell you why I almost did. Because one of the things I always tell people is, as much as you're all in love with Hugh Jackman being Wolverine is 5'5",
he's a midget.
5'6", the most. So get the fucking delusions of grandeur of tall, beautiful Wolverine out of your head. He is a short, stocky, belligerent son of a bitch.
Yeah, smoke cigars.
Exactly. And the figure that they did for him with Old Man Logan was him. He's shorter. He's a shorter figure in relation, and he has like the gray hair.
He's built like a Wolverine.
Yeah, like his hair is gray, like mine.
Right.
So I saw it. I was like, and he has like the jacket with the fur, like we had the denim jackets.
Right.
And I was like, that's kind of cool.
I wish I still had that jacket. I don't even know what happened to it.
I have mine upstairs in a closet.
Of course you do. In the closet where you belong.
Fuck you.
Get in the fucking closet. Rocket #4 gets a Marvel vs. Capcom cover.
Of course it does.
And the artwork on this is pretty fucking disappointing. It's Rocket Raccoon fighting Mega Man. I do not like the style.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't like that style at all. But I'm just going to mention it because,
right.
I'm trying to lure you out of the closet. Secret Empire #8 drops. Once again, this got every Secret Empire that comes out has like a million freaking variants. Also has a Marvel vs. Capcom variant. It's just nonstop with this shit, man. They're really going hard with this Marvel Capcom crap.
Which I get it because you want to generate a buzz for the game, but rest assured, the game has a buzz.
This is obviously Captain America fighting, once again, I'm sure you know.
He is fighting Chris Redfield from Resident Evil.
Yeah, right. What he said. For the Star Wars heads again, Star Wars. Damn, there's like a lot of Star Wars books. Star Wars Dr. Aphra, number 11. Star Wars Rogue One, Cassian and K2SO #1 drops.
Wow.
Like, they're going hard with the friggin' Star Wars titles.
Wow, they gave Cassian and K2SO their own series?
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. Thor vs. Hulk #1 True Believers, which is a pretty awesome story. They actually made that into a cartoon a few years back. But that gets a True Believers Kirby cover. 1 shekel for the price tag on that book. And finishing things up, we have Venom #153, which is, all this fucking building and waiting for Eddie Brock to come back. and they got him fucking fighting dinosaurs. Dinosaurs?
Jesus.
What the fuck? What the fuck are they doing? What were they thinking?
Is he at least fighting Devil Dinosaur or dinosaurs?
Why don't you take a look for yourself?
Oh, it looks like he's fighting Devil Dinosaur.
It's stupid.
Well, Devil Dinosaur is an established character.
It's a fucking stupid character.
Blame Marvel for taking him out of
I
taking
can't
the
blame
cobwebs.
DC.
Blame Marvel for taking the cobwebs off that character. I always felt Devil Dinosaur was such a. Oh yeah, it's a dinosaur. It's like, all right,
Devil Dinosaur. That is a fucking lame ass name.
Yeah, he's a red T-Rex.
Well, he sucks. I hate him. Put him on your fucking lawn with the Burning Cross and the rest of the shitbag characters. And Venom 153 gets a Marvel vs. Capcom cover as well. And this one I actually kind of like. It's Spidey, and now I'm gonna say his name is Hagar, but I could be wrong. But this is the cat from the Neo Geo game because I remember I used to use him as a wrestler.
You are correct. He is fighting Hagar.
All right.
But it's not Neo Geo.
Okay.
It is a Capcom game. It's Final Fight.
How fucking dare you correct me on the show?
You asked. You bastard.
Yeah, I knew it was one of those guys.
Yep.
I don't know everything.
They've been putting those characters gradually in the Street Fighter games. In Street Fighter 4, you could play as Cody. In Street Fighter Alpha, you could play as Guy, the dude in the red gi.
At least I got the name right.
Yep. You did indeed.
And that is your list for New Comic Book Day, both today and next Wednesday.
That's it. Get your money ready, folks.
Yeah, I'm going to be saving a lot because
you got nothing you're jonesing for. That's good. Your wallet takes a break.
Thank God, because those 29 Jim Lee X-Men trading card variant covers destroyed me. 29 covers at $4 a pop. You do the math.
Oh, God.
I would call you like every Wednesday. I was like, yo, I got them all. Everyone that came out today, I got them. Wow. As a matter of fact, didn't I give you one?
Yes, you did.
Which one? Psylocke, right?
Yes, sir.
I know you like that one.
Yep.
So that's the list for these books for today and next Wednesday.
Yep.
Moving on. We have a lot of updates for movies from San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep.
A lot of trailers were dropped for movies. Trailers were dropped for ongoing series, both on regular TV and Netflix.
Yep, absolutely.
So we got a lot to discuss. Hellboy the movie is... That's right. They're redoing Hellboy.
They are doing Hellboy. David Harbour, who played the sheriff in Stranger Things, is going to be playing Hellboy. The film's going to be... They're going for the R rating.
Yeah, no, I know that.
And he was actually at San Diego Comic-Con signing posters for it. Dark Horse ended up emailing me his schedule for San Diego. And, he seems very excited for the role. I'm curious to see what he brings to the table. I mean, reading the older Hellboy books from Dark Horse, the darker tone, I'm curious to see how they pull it off. At the end of the day, it's an uphill battle because Ron Perlman did such an amazing job as Hellboy to create something new. I mean, we've gone through, how many incarnations of Spider-Man, how many incarnations of Batman, and each actor brings a different thing to the table. But with Hellboy, Ron Perlman just was Hellboy. Like watching him on screen, it was just such an amazing display of bringing a character to life. Before everybody was, sucking on the Marvel teat, so to speak. Movies like Hellboy, those movies were really getting comic fans into theaters before Marvel and DC started to really take shit seriously.
For me, Hellboy, the movie, the first one and the second one, is basically the only superhero films that I can say it got better. Like the second one was just as good as the first one, if not better than the first one.
Love that second movie.
I thought both Hellboy movies were excellent. Ron Perlman did an outstanding job. He was also one of the villains in one of the Blade movies, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct, he was. You actually bought me a statue of that Hellboy.
That's right.
Upstairs.
Exactly. That's right. I forgot about that shit. That was a long time ago.
Yep. Because I was a big fan, and I remember I saw the statue. It had the broken finger.
Oh, that's right.
And we saw it at a certain retailer's booth, and he wasn't doing any damage. He wasn't doing anything for it monetarily, and then you
meaning taking money off.
Yeah, I don't know if it was for a birthday or for Christmas, and you bring me this big coffin-sized box. I open it up, and it's fucking Hellboy. He has an awesome statue. Has a real jacket. Fucking bananas.
It really is a dope piece.
Yep.
But those movies were incredible.
Yep.
I'm very ambivalent that they're rebooting Hellboy as far as the movie goes. I'm not mad at the fact that it's an R-rated movie because he's kind of an R-rated character.
I agree,
but I really wish they would have made it Ron Perlman again. Well, because you know what? There's so much makeup on that character and the latex and the mask and all that. You don't know the actor until
you see
like
it.
The actor's face does. You know what I'm saying? Like he did such a good job.
Well, it was crazy because Ron Perlman and Guillermo del Toro were pushing for so long to do a third film, and then they decide, oh yeah, we are going to do a third film, but not with you guys.
Yeah,
and
whack.
With Del Toro's case, he was working on some other projects. I understand, but with Ron Perlman, it was just unfortunate because he genuinely loved the character. He actually went in makeup to do I believe it was a Make-A-Wish for a little boy who liked Hellboy, and they showed like him getting into the makeup to go see the little boy, and
that's awesome of him to do that.
And back then, and he used to say it, to put that makeup on, it took a
shit ton of work,
and he did it, for this kid.
That's awesome.
But David Harbour, he's a solid actor. I'm curious to see how he looks. I mean, David Harbour, he has a beard, and Hellboy's been drawn lately with the beard,
which I don't like at all. So, I don't like that look because
they're probably going to go
gives
with
him that whole Satan-esque type of aura.
So they're probably going to go with the bearded look for him.
I don't like that version at all.
And I also feel that even though David Harbour's a big guy, Ron Perlman's just a tall, big dude. Like he's just a naturally big. He reminds me of the actor who played Herman Munster.
Right.
Like Fred Gwynne was just a big guy. He didn't even have to try. He just looked like a big dude.
I think you hit the nail on the head before. For me, Ron Perlman is Hellboy. So to replace him was a fucking stupid move.
Yep. So I don't know.
It's not like Ron Perlman's like 85 and like decrepit.
And on top of the fact, it's not like he's an expensive actor. How much were you really paying him?
I really don't know. You know what kind of shocks me about that kid you were saying from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, that's what he requested, because I feel like Hellboy is more of an obscure character.
Yeah, I think I'll see if I can find the piece.
So that kid obviously knows his books, and that's awesome that Perlman went out and did that. It's too bad that they're changing the actors for this. I don't understand why they're doing that. If you want to reboot it, but use him, man, because like I said, and you said, he is basically Hellboy. He's one of those characters. He's one of those actors that I want him playing the character. I don't want
the little boy got made up as Hellboy, and then when he went out to meet him,
oh wow, look at this.
There he is and made up as Hellboy, and there he is with the little boy.
Wow. And Ron, how long ago was this?
This was a few years back.
A few years ago. Okay. I was gonna say, because that looks like as fresh as the day we saw the movie.
2012. It looks like.
Oh wow.
So just so you could see that the guy really was into the character enough that here we go, 5 years ago, we're in 2017, 5 years ago, he undergoes this transformation,
right?
Not for money, just for a kid,
right?
So, again, that's one thing I've always said about a lot of the guys that get immersed in these roles. They do really cool stuff. Like when Robert Downey Jr. took the boy the prosthetic arm,
right,
that looked like the Iron Man blaster, or Tom Holland going dressed as Spidey to all these kids' hospitals. And
I feel like a lot of those things, though, are just very staged.
A lot of them are staged, but a lot of them they just do for the sake of doing. Like with Tom Holland,
I just hope they're doing them for the right reasons.
Well, I think
not for publicity stunts.
Well, here's the thing. Unfortunately, with that stuff, and people, it's publicity in the sense that it is publicity. But for the kid that has a terminal illness, he gets to meet Spider-Man. So it's weird because, for the suits, it's like, yeah. But, for some kid who has no idea, it's just, wow, Spider-Man came to see me. Or,
right.
So it's a give and take. It's like we know what the underlying reason is, but the actors are still taking time out to do it. And the kids, they're just, they don't know. They're just enjoying the ride.
There's not too many things in this world that make me genuinely more happy than seeing a little kid's reaction light up.
Yep.
Being surprised. Like, I love that shit.
Yep. And that's the whole point. Like when Tom Holland went dressed as Spider-Man, it was cool because, he did all his own stunts. So he would like flip into like the kid's hospital room.
Right.
And the kid would be like, Spider-Man. And he'd be like, hey,
I'd probably give them that same reaction.
Exactly. So, that was the cool thing also because with him, he does parkour, he does all that, so he would like flip into the kids' rooms,
right,
or he would like, do a couple of cartwheels into the hallway,
right.
and then he'd flip into the kids' room. The kids would be like, oh my God, it's Spider, and they'd go crazy. I think there's video floating around of that, which was really cool. He'd take off his mask. He'd be like, hey, I'm not supposed to show people who I am, but I came all the way here to see you. And, you know, kids lit up like Christmas trees, man. It was so awesome.
Me and a buddy of mine, we have this ongoing joke about Charlie Cox, the actor who plays the Netflix Daredevil.
Yep.
You know, I have run-ins with him, and I keep breaking my friend's balls. I'm like, yo, the next time I see him,
fight him.
I'm going to fucking take a swing at him. And he's like, what are you, crazy? He's like, yo, fucking I'm killing him. He's like, you're 4 times that guy's size. I'm like, yeah, but he's Daredevil, so if he'll sense that I'm going to take a swing at him, you know?
That's the fun part of that stuff, man. Like that, you know?
Just for people, I don't know if they, you know, if everybody knows, but Wonder Woman gets an official release date.
Yep.
My lucky number, December 13th of 2019.
That's right.
I mean, I watched Wonder Woman about, I don't know, 8 times already.
Yep.
And I can't wait for 2019 because I absolutely am in awe of the actress, Gal Gadot, and the movie itself, the way it was written. I can't wait.
Yep. Wonder Woman continues to break records at the box office, continues to receive praise, and reinforces the fact that, you know, this isn't just a boys' club anymore, that, you know, a female superhero film can be done right.
It was, and trust me, I'd be the first one bitching, whining, moaning, complaining if I thought it sucked.
Yep,
it was done correctly,
and
man.
that's one of those things that I feel is very crucial to the story. You know, we again, something I said before. You know, a lot of people there's this fear. Oh, we got to do this and this and this, and it's like when you look at Wonder Woman, when you look at, you know, the upcoming Captain Marvel film, you get a good director, you get a good story, and the pieces fall together.
Yeah, I agree. Green Lantern.
So
DC's in the works.
So yeah, DC wants to pull the trigger on Green Lantern. There's a rumor we may see him in Justice League. Take it as exactly that, a rumor. But Tyrese, yes, that Tyrese, is really, really pushing to play Jon Stewart. And first, I'd like to open up by saying, fuck you, Tyrese. Stay the fuck away from my movies and stick to Fast and Furious or Soul Food or whatever other nonsense you show up in. Word. You are the fucking worst. You are only comic relief, and no one will take you seriously.
Not me.
No one. I'm sorry. Me. Jon Stewart is pretty much Black Hal Jordan. I hate, you know,
I actually like Jon Stewart a lot. I don't mind that version of the Green Lantern,
no, not at all.
I just want to know why the hell are they bypassing Hal Jordan and going with him?
Well, the reason I said, you know, that Jon Stewart is Black Hal Jordan is because in terms of popularity, you know, everybody always talks about GL, and it's either Jon Stewart or Hal Jordan. And when you look at numerous DC cartoons, you either get Jon Stewart.
Well, those are the two most popular. You're right.
Very, very rarely. Occasionally, you get the redheaded stepchild, Guy Gardner, who I have a soft spot for. I like Guy Gardner.
I like him too. Honestly, I like all the versions of Green Lantern.
I like Green Lantern Mo from the Three Stooges.
I just don't like that. I don't even mind that they're doing Jon Stewart. I just want to know why they're bypassing Hal Jordan. And even a better question, why the fuck would you pick Tyrese?
Yep. Out of all the amazing, talented African-American actors that are out there, you're going to pick the guy that is the R-truth of acting. And
to tell you the truth, and I'm you know, I'm basically contradicting myself right now. If I was to scan and look for an actor to play Jon Stewart, and I don't like doing this because he already did a superhero character, I would really be looking towards Wesley Snipes.
I'd look toward Wesley Snipes, but I would probably look towards Idris Elba.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
That's Heimdall in Thor.
No, he's too recent.
No, but the thing about Idris Elba as an actor is that
but you're right, though.
When you look at him and the way he acts, he is Jon Stewart.
Right.
Like he has, you know, that subtle suaveness, but he can still be a badass. If you want even more proof of that, look up the show Luther, where he plays this very jaded police detective. Amazing show, done in the UK, and it is fucking stellar. And the way the intensity he brought to that role, I always said he would crush it as Jon Stewart.
Well, I'm not happy with Tyrese.
No, and I hope to God that they just they just don't.
I want that. I can't have that come together. Hope that falls apart. Ben Affleck.
Yep.
He just saw, like, there's been like all these rumors going around for the past couple of weeks about DC's already looking to write him out of the stories because they want to go with a younger version of Batman.
Yep.
And then the news drops that boom, what he signed 3 movie deals.
He signed a 3 movie deal. 3 separate I believe it's 3 separate Batman films besides the Justice League stuff.
That's the most somebody got next to Christian Bale. 3 plus that.
Well, Christian Bale had to be not forced, but he had to really get a dangling carrot for that 3rd one.
But I'm saying though, he was the one character. He was the one actor who played that character for 3 movies in a row. Affleck's doing the 3 plus all the offshoot movies.
Yeah, the thing,
you don't see an actor hanging around for Batman that long.
The problem was, and I understand both sides of the argument. You know, Ben Affleck isn't a young dude, and they were like, "Fuck, you know, we're gonna do all these movies."
Well, he ain't that fucking old, Jesus Christ!
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. It's like he's not that young, he's not that old, and let's remember, it was the suits that wanted the more mature, seasoned Batman. So blame your fucking selves.
The Frank Miller Batman.
Yeah, so blame your fucking selves. You guys could have picked a younger dude at any point, because back in the day, everybody used to talk about this guy Armie Hammer, who was up for Batman. He was a younger dude. He played the Lone Ranger in the live action Lone Ranger movie with Johnny Depp.
God, I don't want to remember that movie.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The movie was terrible, but him as an actor, he had a charisma that could work for a younger Batman.
Right.
But in any case, you know, you guys want Frank Miller style grizzled veteran Batman, then you got to sign grizzled veteran actor. And Ben Affleck, you know, he's making the role his own, whether people love it or hate it, and he's doing a good job. You know, it's not terrible.
You know
it's not
what?
Great. It's just
I
good.
gotta say, a lot of people were bashing him when they found out that he was going to play the role of Batman.
Right.
And I was like, nah, I like Affleck. You know, like, let's give him a chance. I think he's going to do a good job. I hate him as Batman. I fucking hate him as Batman. There's something about his face in
the
that
chubby.
cap.
Well, that was the chubby cheeks and the cowl.
It's more than just chubby cheeks. That does bother me.
Because the cowl is too tight.
His face does not look correct in the cowl.
And I know
he does not
why.
look right. He does not look right. Even in that fucking damn freaking Justice League trailer that you fucking held the gun to my head to watch, he doesn't look right.
I'll tell you why. One of the things that is iconic with Batman is a masculine square jawline. And Ben Affleck does not have a square jawline. On the contrary,
he kind of does. He kind of does when he's not in the cowl.
Right, when he's not in the cowl. But the problem is that one of those iconic things is that when you look at Batman, it's like, yo, even like one of the women swoon over Batman when you only see half the motherfucker's face.
Right.
So let's think about this. So you gotta kind of put that together. You know, they were talking about Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan on The Walking Dead. He he played Batman's father in when they show the flashback in Batman versus Superman, and they've been saying that they want him to play Thomas Wayne for Flashpoint, which we'll discuss. And he's another guy that you look at, he has like a good jawline. You know, same thing with Josh Brolin playing Cable. Like, you look at the dude and you're like, yeah, that dude. Ben Affleck, it's weird, and I think that look, to your point, definitely kind of throws it off a bit, because when you look at it from a certain angle, you're like, Batman kind of has a little bit of the puffy going on.
Doesn't look right to me.
You know?
Doesn't look right to me at all.
You know, him signing on for the 3 films is a good way to silence the critics. Matt Reeves being involved in the project, I'm really looking forward to it. But, you know, you got the 3 films, you got the Justice League. Just let the guy work. You know, like, stop fucking badgering the dude on social media.
He's a tremendous distraction to me playing Batman.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous distraction for me.
Well,
I can't escape into the role, into the movie. I can't get lost in the character. It's like, I can't explain it. I don't have the right words to describe how I feel about it. But when I watch him play Batman, I feel like I'm just watching Ben Affleck.
Yep, it's Ben Affleck playing Ben Affleck. I can understand that. Like, Batman, for me, when I see Batman on screen, I want an actor who's bringing intensity, like commanding presence.
Yeah, he doesn't do that for me.
Yeah, he doesn't. For me, Ben Affleck, like when he showed up on screen alongside Henry Cavill, who is a younger actor, not as seasoned, Henry Cavill commanded more screen presence than Batman did,
100,000,000%.
which is crazy because think about it. The rookie commands more presence, has more. The only thing about him I didn't like was just, that Superman wasn't a little bit more carefree, like a little happier. But for the most part, when Superman was on screen, there was an energy, there was power.
Ben Affleck playing Batman is just as bad, if not worse, than George Clooney playing Batman.
Yeah,
they're both two distracting fucking actors.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're both two good actors, but are not meant for that role.
Right.
They're not.
I feel that in that case, and especially now that Gal Gadot's just grown into the Wonder Woman role, I feel that
Lord have mercy, do I love her.
I feel that when Justice League comes around, like Batman's just gonna get lost in the mix because even Jason Momoa as Aquaman is stealing more scenes.
He looks dope.
Like he's commanding more.
To me, he looks like he was born to play the role of Aquaman.
Like he definitely is getting, he's growing into the role, much like Henry Cavill grew into Superman. Like you look at Superman now, the guy really takes it seriously. Like he goes in there. The transformation that dude underwent for Superman and Batman versus Superman, you couldn't even, they showed a screenshot comparing how he looked in the first Superman to the other one, and you're just like, holy shit. Like the guy dialed it in because it's like, he's like, I got to play the Man of Steel, and I got to look like him, Yeah,
Affleck doesn't do it for me, man. That's a dead issue. Marvel movies.
Yep.
They released what Domino looks like for Deadpool 2.
Yep, Zazie Beetz.
Which is also, I noticed, has been driving up the value of Domino's first, no, not even so much Domino books, but Domino's first appearance.
But of course
was it X-Force number, whatever the hell it is. It's got the yellow cover on it.
Yep.
Anyways, that book is slowly climbing up the numbers. Very irritating when this happens because, you know what? I shouldn't be so annoyed with it because I actually own the book. But slowly but surely, that book is becoming more valuable.
She appeared in X-Force number 8.
Number 8, there you go. That's her first appearance, and that book is super annoying because everybody keeps trying to, lock it down now, and it's just driving up the price.
Champagne dreams on a beer budget.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not expensive though. It's not crazy.
But they're trying to be like, oh, I want,
They're just trying to cash in for that moment in time where she's gonna get a little shine for the movie.
Exactly. A $25 book mysteriously becomes a $75 book just overnight.
Yo, if you're paying $25 for that book, you're paying too much.
Yep.
That book shouldn't be no more than between $10 and $15 in mint condition, in my opinion. Okay. 2025 is OD. Man, Dr. Doom is getting his own movie.
Oh, our friends over at Fox.
Fucking Fox. Fucking Fox, man. They're like, when you talk as far as like the totem pole, the pecking order, Fox is the fucking bottom of the barrel. Then it's Sony, then obviously Disney, Marvel.
Yep. It's crazy because they botched Doctor Doom in that terrible Fantastic Four movie that they did, and now they want to give Doctor Doom his own solo film and whatever. I mean, if I wanted to see a solo Doctor Doom,
you're concerned that they butchered the Doctor Doom character. What about the fucking movies?
Well, no, the movies were beyond. Well, let me
not
rephrase.
The first two. I'm talking about the most recent one.
Yeah, the most recent one had. I could pretty much do a show on how much that movie sucked. And I can talk about it for 90 minutes easily.
I'd rather watch shitty Spider-Man Homecoming every day for the rest of my life than watch that Fantastic Four once.
It was bad. It was on cable one night, and I said, "All right, let's see what the deal is." I sat through it, and when it was over, I'm like, "Wow, was this a festering pile of shit?"
Through that?
Well, you know what happened?
You're crazy.
Yeah. So when I had my office upstairs, it's playing in the background. I'm working, and then I just started, and I'm like, I'll watch it. And then as I'm working and I'm typing up some stuff and I'm watching.
Well, it could have been that good because you were working and watching.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow, what a steaming pile of shit when it was all said and done. And the thing that got me was just that they ruined a lot of shit in that movie, dude. But Doom just got completely destroyed. I was like, wow, this is shit. And now they want to do a solo movie, and I got to be honest. If I had to see a solo Doctor Doom movie, I'd like to see Mads Mikkelsen play him.
Who the hell is that?
Mads Mikkelsen played Hannibal in the Hannibal Lecter TV series. He was also the guy with the weird purple eyes in Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Yeah, Mads
why would you pick that dude?
The reason is because I feel that Doctor Doom needs to be a guy. You need a more mature actor to play him. You don't want a super young dude because the guy's a fucking scientist. You want him a mature actor.
Well, isn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Reed Richards and Doctor Doom about the same age?
Reed Richards and Doctor Doom are the same age.
Yeah,
but if you're gonna do a solo Doctor Doom movie at this point, you might as well do a Doctor Doom movie where he's already fucking established. Because nobody, what are you gonna do? Recast another young Reed Richards again?
Well, how about this? Just don't do a Doctor Doom movie.
I mean, of course, in a perfect world, I would love to not have a Doctor Doom movie.
In a perfect world, fucking Fox wouldn't exist when it comes to Marvel flicks.
Yeah, in a perfect world, we would be seeing Secret Wars done by Disney and Spider-Man getting the black costume courtesy of Disney. But that's just us, throwing it out there. But honestly, for Doctor Doom, if you're gonna do it, the problem is you want to do a solo Doctor Doom movie, and Doctor Doom doesn't exactly have a plethora of people that he fights besides
the Fantastic Four.
Exactly, which you've already fucking battered and beaten. It's like, what are you going to do? But here's the problem. They're doing that movie not because they want to do a solo Doctor Doom movie, but it's because we have to put a movie out to keep the rights.
Right.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. You're right about that.
That's what that is.
You're right about that.
They're like, we got to do something to
it's
keep
like
the property
we're making a shitty spin-off off the fucking shitty movie.
Yep, just to keep it alive. Keep hope alive.
Yeah, that fucking heartbeat is fucking done. That shit flatlined. There's no pulse.
Nope.
Does anybody give a fuck? Because I know I don't.
Nope. I don't, but I know that this is the power play. Like, dude, just take the L and give it back.
Before we get to all the trailers, I got one more movie to mention.
Go ahead.
And this is honestly, I'm more amped about this shit than anything else.
What's that?
And that's fucking my god in the comic book world, Todd McFarlane. Finally announced that he signed a deal for the Spawn movie.
That's right.
There was a lot of rumors saying that the movie's going to be just Sam and Twitch and really weren't going to get Spawn. This movie is about Spawn. He signed a deal with a company, I forgot the name of it. Blumhouse, who's basically responsible for all these so-called horror flicks within the last few years. And the reason why he signed with Blumhouse, he explained, because a lot of companies were pitching him, but they didn't want to give him the freedom, the director's control. He signed a deal where he is the director. I was watching a ton of interviews with him. He was saying how over the years, he has a story in his mind, how he wants to shoot it. I mean, who better else than Todd McFarlane to be the director for this movie? If anybody else did this movie other than Todd, it would not be the Spawn movie that we want it to be.
You know what the thing is?
This is why I love him, bro. He's not like fucking Disney and Marvel and DC and this. Though he is the man who created this character, and he wants to be the director.
Right.
Who else knows this character better than him? It's House. Look at the insane job he did with the HBO cartoon.
Oh, absolutely. You know what the thing is? That
he is a futurist, bro. He knocks it out of the park. He is so ahead of his time.
The thing about it is, and there people always, Hollywood gets concerned because, Frank Miller's directed some stuff, based on properties and things that he's done, and it's been met with mixed results. So I think Hollywood just likes to kind of, take care of their own.
Yeah, but
at the end of the day,
but Todd McFarlane is not Frank Miller.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, you have to give the opportunity to the people who have their hands in the pot. I mean, this is happening now with the DC Cinematic Universe where, Zack Snyder had his hands in all the pots, so to speak, and now they're moving it to where he has less hands on the properties, and it's Jeff Johns who, DC has his hands on all the properties. He's actually, getting involved in all the properties and giving more input, and the studio's like, fuck, we got to listen to this guy. And it's like, that's what you kind of need to do. I mean, it's like the same thing with Kevin Feige with Marvel. It's like Kevin Feige knows what the deal is because Marvel's like, listen, dude, this, and this. And he's like, all right, let's make it happen. With DC and Warner Brothers, it's like, well, this is what the studio wants and this is what you guys want, and we're just going to meet in the middle. Nope, that's not how this works.
Nah, man.
Todd's
got complete creative control.
Yep.
That's how it should be. He created the character, and he's making sure that his creation is getting done correctly, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I have to say, this is one fucking trailer, if they drop a trailer, which I'm sure they will, that I'll be patiently waiting like a vulture on a wire.
I think now with the announcement of this film, I think us seeing Todd McFarlane at Toy Fair ever again is probably never happening. like in general, we didn't see him before. Now we're really never gonna see him. Period. Why are you staring at me with this blank look on your face?
You got to meet him.
I did, but how many? A year and 1 year prior.
You got to meet him twice.
I did,
Not once,
but
twice.
I did, but this was also when he was just out there just promoting his toys. Now, once you dip your toes in the Hollywood pool, that's the end of that. Now it's really going to be like
bull fucking shit. Mark my words.
Okay.
Before this mortal life ends for me, I will meet and have kidnapped Todd McFarlane.
All right. I will help you make that happen.
Listen, you know me.
I know.
Almost every single person that I've ever wanted to meet or looked up to or was a fan of has not only happened, but some crazy, the stars aligned. I've become friends with a lot of these people.
This is true.
Am I lying?
No, sir.
Right?
I got to tell you guys, when we went to see Justice League Dark, I took, Jimbo Slice went with me and my wife to go see it, and we played the role, got in there, and it's like, oh, the film's over. Here's the cast of the film. And Jimbo Slice is walking up like, what's up there, fucking, John Constantine? And I'm like, this fucking guy. Just talking to John, the actor who plays John Constantine, like he knew the guy for 5 years. I snapped a pic with him. It was a great time, and that's just how it is. It's just hilarious.
I'm very fortunate. I live a life, and I get to do and experience a lot of things that a lot of people would die to do and will probably never experience. I've met a lot of famous people in my lifetime: actors, musicians, rappers, wrestlers, comedians, you name it. I've probably met them and somehow, some way become not only just meeting them, but become friends with them. Todd McFarlane, I'm sorry, once he meets me, I'm going to be doing a podcast with him.
Let me tell you about my best friend.
I won't, yeah, exactly. He's my new best friend, and he has no choice because I'm bigger than him. I'm like, yo, you're gonna have to be my friend. You're not walking away from me, and we're not exchanging numbers.
Oh my god!
And you're not gonna block my number, and you're gonna give me your address. We're gonna hang out, and go to the movies together.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and go out on Wednesday and buy comic books together.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
All right,
it's only a matter of time. And when I meet him, I'm gonna. The huge industrial hefty bags.
Oh, God.
I'm going to fill up as many of those as I can with everything that I could get my fucking hooves on for him to sign.
Oh,
he's signing everything that I own that has his name on it. End of story. Action figures, books, statues, whatever it is.
Well, if we're fortunate to once again go to Toy Fair, we will try again.
I have to meet him. I have to meet him. Look, if this comes down to it, so we're gonna have to fucking find out this guy's address.
Oh God!
I'm gonna fucking show up on his fucking front lawn.
Oh, Jesus.
I have to meet this guy.
All right.
I have to.
Okay.
On to the trailers. San Diego Comic-Con released a whole bunch of trailers.
Yes.
For those who haven't seen it, I was just forced to watch it. Justice League, Thor Ragnarok, which I'll get to that in a minute.
Oh boy.
Stranger Things, Stupid Inhumans, Gotham, Flash, and Arrow, which I care less about all three of those things now. I really don't care. Supergirl, I never cared about. And The Defenders, which I cannot wait for.
Yep.
You seem to be really thrilled about Thor Ragnarok.
I was.
I am not.
Okay.
They fucking made the two ass kickers of Marvel, Thor and Hulk, complete fucking buffoons.
How so?
How so? They're not fucking comedians.
Well, it's not even about comedians.
Really? Because that didn't come off as a comedy to you? Because it did to me.
The way that
why is fucking Hulk talking?
Well, Hulk always had a
No. He went through transformations to get to that level.
He did, but even in his more brutish states, he still had limited vocabulary.
Yeah, like 2 fucking words.
Right, but even when he spoke...
He was saying full sentences in that trailer.
Yeah, but the sentences were very Hulk think.
It's stupid.
It's still
dumb.
simplified.
Last time I checked, in Avengers 1 and 2, the motherfucker wasn't talking.
He did when he fucking bashed Loki and he called him a puny god.
That one little bit.
But
this was like full dialogue.
But he spoke, and it was also the fact that in this film...
Yeah, puny god. Once again, 2 words.
2 words, but
these were full sentences.
Right, but the whole reasoning behind this is because, and I'm glad we're discussing it, that's why I wanted you to see it. According to this film, Hulk Banner has been in Hulk form for the equivalent of 2 years in this film. So Hulk has had time to develop by being on this planet. That's the whole reason why. Like, he hasn't changed back to Banner. That's why the scenes where they showed Thor with Banner, where they were talking about the fight that he had with the Hulk, and he's like, and Hulk is like, Thor's like, oh, I won that fight. He's like, that's not right, because he's aware that he hasn't been Banner for that long.
Obviously, I'm gonna watch the movie.
Right.
I'm not ecstatic about this movie at all.
Okay, and that's fine.
I do not, aside from him talking, which I hate.
Okay.
I like when he does the 1 and 2 words. That gives him more.
Yeah, you like the more simplified.
The gorilla-like presence and aura.
Yeah.
I hate the way he looks. I love the way he looked in the first Avengers.
Right.
The second one was all right. Why are they fucking changing the way he looks? Just keep him the fucking same.
Yeah, well, the hair thing I know is because when they were all captured, because when Thor gets captured, his hair gets cut.
Whatever,
so
fine. I can deal with that. I can't. He looks like a completely different freaking Hulk.
Right.
From the first Avengers.
Right, but that's also because when World War Hulk happened and he went as Savage Hulk, he evolved.
This is this is obviously Thor Ragnarok, but this is AKA fucking Planet Hulk.
Well, they took elements of Planet Hulk into the story, which in Planet Hulk, when he arrives on the planet Sakaar, he's still, primal Hulk, but by being there for so long, like anything else, the beauty of Hulk's character, even in the books, is that he adapts to, harsh conditions. He adapted to harsh conditions. That's all it is for this film.
He looks completely different.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure
this has nothing to do with harsh conditions. They revamped what he looks like.
Well, yeah, they changed the design, but it's also indicative of what's happening in the film.
It's one thing to get a haircut. He looks completely different. His body looks different. It looks dumb. It doesn't look right. And it's very CGI looking.
Yeah,
very CGI. The first Avenger Hulk, that motherfucker looked real.
Right. Well, we also were watching it on this.
Yeah, I don't care. This shit don't look right. Justice League.
That was it? You didn't have anything else on that trailer?
No, because I don't care.
Okay, fair enough.
I really don't.
Fair enough.
Hulk bothered me so much with them making him into that I just lost interest. I'm not amped the way you are at all. I'm more excited for the Thor storyline and Gila.
Yeah.
But the Hulk part of the movie, I don't even want to see it, to tell you the truth. It's not done correctly.
I was excited for that. I felt that this trailer was the trailer we should have seen first. I like seeing all the other characters, Fenris Wolf, which we see in a scene with the Hulk. Hela looks tremendous, what they're doing with that. And
she looks Ilmatic.
Yeah, I feel that that's going to tie heavily into Thanos.
Of course it is.
Because that's where they're going now with the stuff. So I see that. I like Scourge, who's her right-hand man.
The one with the axe, the battle axe.
Yeah, usually he's with Enchantress, but clearly they decided to put him with
which
Hela.
was weird, but whatever.
Yep. Valkyrie. They're doing a lot of stuff in there, which is interesting. Obviously, the setup for this is going to lead right into Infinity War, which if you've seen the leaked trailer, you'll understand. Like I said, I'm excited for it just because me personally loved World War Hulk, loved the book, loved what they did with the character, like how he just came back to get revenge on the Marvel Universe for wronging him, which in a way is the Hulk's been the Hulk's thing for years. It's like he's a bad guy most times to everybody because he accidentally destroys shit. But when they need him, he's automatically a useful tool. So, I
wish you guys could see right now, Rich's left nipple is actually lactating onto the desk. All right.
I'm excited. We are in an awesome golden age to see that.
I'm staring right at your shorts. Clearly you're excited. Clearly.
I never would have imagined in a million years that I read that book and I thought it was so awesome. And now, obviously, we're not seeing the full scope of the film, but we're seeing fragments of it.
I'm actually more excited. The Marvel guy is more excited to see Justice League.
I don't want to spoil what was at the end of that trailer of Thor Ragnarok with Hulk.
All right, well, don't ruin nothing for me.
You saw it.
Oh, what do you mean?
When he was leaping towards a character, and I was like, "Oh, it's this fucking character."
I don't even know.
Oh.
I don't even care, bro.
Oh
I
man.
don't even fucking care.
All right. I'm not going to spoil it for everybody, but if you've seen the trailer for Thor Ragnarok, you can hit me up on social media to chat about it.
Hit him up. Good luck talking to him. Be fucking milking himself the whole time.
Jesus.
Milking himself and fucking whacking off.
You're an asshole.
Milk and whack. Yep.
The law firm of Milk and Whack.
Yeah, milk and whack. Exactly. So we fucking renamed this damn podcast.
Jesus.
Like I said, Justice League. That's that trailer definitely got me interested.
Yep. Your interest was piqued. I saw.
You know damn well that the minute I fucking found out that Ezra Miller was playing the Flash, I hated it because, I really loved the show,
Grant
the
Gustin Flash.
and Grant Gustafson, but my mindset has flip flopped about this because the last season of Flash was complete fucking was hot trash. I didn't like it. I hated it.
I don't blame the actor though for that.
No, I don't blame the actors for that. That's bad writing.
Yep.
They just got to do their job. I'm not a big fan of the motorcycle suit that Flash wears.
Yeah, I don't like.
And I know a lot of people,
but it borrows in the Injustice game. The armor looks like that, so
a lot of people were like not happy with the design of the Flash costume.
Yeah.
For the movie. On the other hand, I dig it.
I didn't dislike it, but then playing the Injustice games, I'm like, well, fuck, that's what he wears in the games, more or less. So I'm like,
I'm not mad at that, and I have grown to like the idea of Ezra Miller playing the Flash. He actually, you know what? I think I'm going to dig his character a lot and him playing that character. So I'm looking forward to the movie. Like I said, the only thing, it's dope as hell. The only thing, and I really like what they did with the lightning with him.
Yep. That was actually a really cool effect.
Yeah, and he's kind of like that nerdy, smart ass, kind of almost like that Peter Parker type of persona,
Yep.
Which I dig. Once again, the only character that I'm not feeling in the movie is Batman. And it's not the character, it's the actor that's making me not feel the character.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I was excited because there was a lot of callbacks to a lot of stuff. I'm really excited to see the Parademons on the big screen,
right?
With Steppenwolf. I think that it's gonna be one of those things.
Get your saucepan ready, pal.
Huh?
Get your saucepan ready.
No, you know what it is for me. I look at it from the standpoint of I'm excited for the film. It has all the potential to be awesome, but it has all the when DC's concerned, it's either one side of the scale or the other side of the scale.
Gal Gadot's in it.
No, and she can redeem that much like she did redeem parts of Batman versus Superman. But again, it's like in terms of a complete story, there's if they don't bring it together correctly, it can fall apart or one actor can overpower another. It's one of those things we were concerned about with Avengers, and Marvel's figured out a way to make that shit work.
Side note. Batman vs Superman at the end, well, not the end, but when Bruce is looking at that black and white photo on the computer screen of Gal Gadot, and they actually explained that photograph
in the film
throughout the course of the movie, I thought was fucking brilliant.
But that's what I mean. Like when you take your time and really try to craft a narrative where everything is woven together, it's good. But when DC came swinging out of the gate, they were flying in 5 different directions because they wanted to give you Batman versus Superman, plus introduce Wonder Woman, plus give you Doomsday. Then you wanted to introduce the Suicide Squad and Amanda Waller and all this.
I don't know how all that crap ties in together.
Right, but that's what I mean. Like you wanted to get all these characters front and center so that Batman could pop up with Deadshot and the Joker and Batman and Harley.
It's very sloppy.
Yeah, they just like I've said before, when Marvel built their cinematic universe, it was this was years.
Yeah, but I don't think that they had intended it to be that way. I think it kind of worked itself out to be that way.
It did, but what I'm saying is DC could have easily have done a separate standalone Superman movie, maybe the end credits set up. Something for
how about everybody
else?
Get their own fucking individual movies and then make the Justice League movie?
Bingo.
They just went from the fucking frying pan to the fire.
Yeah, they just went from 0 to 100, and I get it. You wanted to come out swinging, and you wanted to get the Justice League on the big screen very fast. But again, you're doing it at the expense of nobody giving a fuck about Batman, nobody giving a fuck about Superman, and Wonder Woman kind of being the draw.
And you got Cyborg, who was an afterthought with the Justice League when Green Lantern's an original member.
Right.
So whatever.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to the movie more than Thor Ragnarok. I'm a Marvel guy.
I'm looking forward to both for different reasons. For Justice League, it's that initial excitement, like when we first saw the Avengers on the screen for the first time. You know, it's like I'm really excited because wow, we're gonna see the Justice League on the big screen, live action for the first time.
Right.
You know, the movie may be good, the movie may be bad, we don't know yet, but just that level of excitement, it's like something you'd never thought we'd be talking about now. You know.
Well, you know, moving on to the TV shows, you know, I don't want to spend any time on this.
Nope.
I'm so fucking over these shows. Gotham, The Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl all got, you know, their little trailers.
Yep, little sizzle reels.
You know, I was done with Arrow after season 2. I was just done with that shit. I'm pretty much done with Gotham and The Flash at this point.
Okay.
Unless you tell me otherwise while you're watching it. I know you enjoyed season 3 for both of those shows way more than I did.
Well, I'll tell you,
I absolutely fucking hated The Flash season 3.
I'm gonna throw a couple of things out there real quick. For Arrow, this past season with Prometheus, kind of brought things back full circle. Went back to the gritty, more cerebral villains. None of the crazy magic nonsense. It was just a cerebral villain that was one step ahead of Oliver every episode. And on top of that, the villain was just a bad motherfucker, which was good because it needed to kind of erase the stench of that previous season. And they did a good job going back kind of like to just, you know, back to grassroots with the characters and grounding the series, which I thought was a great step in the right direction. You know, the season finale for that episode was a cliffhanger. They brought back a lot of great characters. Spoiler alert, if you're a fan of Deathstroke, I'll just put that out there. Flash, the whole Savitar thing, it was hit or miss for me. Like Savitar's introduction was fucking phenomenal when he was introduced,
and then it just
petered out.
Yep,
it petered out, and when it ended, I'm like, fuck. All of this led to this. Like, I get where it ended, but I'm
so anticlimactic.
Yeah, it was anticlimactic. I felt that Savitar's introduction, that first, I think
you mean Megatron?
Yeah, pretty much. Like his introduction, I think it was second or third episode when he whooped the Flash's ass. I'm like, wow, this is gonna be fucking insane. And then it just
garbage. So many filler episodes that had nothing to do with the story.
They had a lot of petering out in a lot of the episodes. Supergirl, I know Jimbo Slice doesn't watch it.
Nope. Refuse.
Supergirl started very, very lovey-dovey nonsense with the sister and all these bullshit arcs, and then towards the middle of the season, it really picked up with a lot of the other stuff with Martian Manhunter and all of that stuff. And, you know, there were a lot of teases and a lot of things to look forward to, but I feel that as much as they're trying to do with that show, they don't have a lot of time to right the ship. So I think honestly this upcoming season is going to be make or break for that show. You know, everybody says that the crossovers are the highest rated episodes, which they are because they're always awesome.
Right.
But if you're going to build up an entire show just for the one crossover, then just establish the character and use it for crossovers and don't make a fucking series, which, you know, it is what it is. And then Black Lightning, which is a new series coming out, also taking place. I don't know
what the fuck is that about.
Black Lightning is a character who exists in the DC universe, and he's getting a show on
Black Lightning.
Yeah, Black Lightning.
Why don't I know who this is?
It's weird because
like I'm here. All I keep hearing is Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Lightning is a character. He's been utilized on and off, and I found it weird.
Wait, he's a good guy?
Yeah, he's a hero. He is been used sporadically. This was an old
man.
Yeah, well, that was an old design. He obviously looks a lot different here.
This character sucks.
Yeah, so Black Lightning is going to be.
I would
next.
rather see them give Static a fucking
a lot of
show.
People. You're not the first person to say that.
Static is a dope fucking character.
Yeah, Static Shock. A lot of people have been wanting to see something done with the character, but Black Lightning is next. But there's also a concern because, again, much like Supergirl, not exactly on the same continuity as Batman.
Yeah,
Batman
that's like weird that
as Flash and Arrow. So it may be another Earth like they did with Supergirl. So
I can't.
We'll see what happens with that. You know, I'm curious to see how the show debuts and how it's received, I'll watch it and let you guys know. But overall, I just feel that DC's TV offerings, Arrow, they have an interesting direction coming for the upcoming season. So does Flash. Supergirl, I kind of feel, is on the death clock. And Gotham just kind of fucking pedal to the metal.
Went into weirdo world.
Yeah, I think the new season of Gotham teases the Scarecrow.
Yeah, it does.
So they really put the pedal to the metal with Batman, with Bruce Wayne becoming Batman.
Yeah,
so
they're accelerating that.
Yeah, they're kind of moving that up, I think, because they've realized that, which is unfortunate because Gotham is not Bruce Wayne's story. Gotham is Jim Gordon's story, and Bruce Wayne is in it.
Yeah, it's the prelude.
And people just fail to realize, like, when are we going to see this character? When are we going to see that character? Jim Gordon's story.
It's all the origins that lead up to Batman.
Right, and that's the thing that so many people, and then I think
but I told you about who was going to be about inevitably for season for season 4.
Yep.
Like, I got that inside information from someone that plays actually on the show.
Yeah, and Fox, I feel kind of Fox got a little scared, and they're kind of just, flooring it to get us to the finish line, so to speak, with young Batman. And it's fine, but I just feel that in the midst of doing that, you're losing everything that made the show special.
Yeah,
in the process.
I lost interest in season 3. It was just too all over the place for me.
And then, you got Gifted coming up, which takes place in the X-Men universe.
Who cares?
Cloak and Dagger, which is going to be on Freeform. You also got
which is going to be on what?
A channel called Freeform. It used to be ABC Family.
Okay.
So you got that, and then you have the New Warriors.
I'm curious to see that.
And I want to see the New Warriors. That's getting a live action show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, with Squirrel Girl and all those characters.
I don't care about her.
Yeah, so she's in that. Night Thrasher, all the New Warriors.
Night Thrasher's all right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of superhero TV on deck for us. But
you know what it is? They just think now because it's the popular thing right now.
Let's just crank it.
You just fucking just put out all the characters.
Yep, and I think that is a very, very big mistake.
Yep.
I think you got to kind of pick and choose what works.
You're gonna start taking away from the good shit.
Yep, and on top of that, there's certain characters that have a deep enough story that you could do a weekly episodic series and it works. Like. The problem with a character like Green Arrow is that unless you start borrowing Batman's villains, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because that's what they've been doing, he's not exact. You can't, 5 seasons. I'm shocked. It's, I thought maybe 3 seasons tops, but we're going this far in. Clearly, they're going into the deep water. Same thing with Flash. Like Flash's rogues gallery is big, but the bulk of his villains suck.
Yeah, with that show,
and they're giving them fresh coats of paint to make them relevant. But how far can it go?
Moving on to the only 2 shows that I cared about with the trailers are Netflix, The Defenders, which drops on the
18th.
The 18th, which is a Friday, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm expecting the Defenders to crash Netflix again.
Yep, much like Luke Cage did.
Yep. And also my favorite show, period, Stranger Things. Oh my God. You talk about 80s nostalgia between the Vincent Price talking with the Michael Jackson song, them in the Ghostbusters outfit. My hair is tingling right now. That is so fucking 80s.
Listen, Jimbo Slice put Stranger Things on my radar. He was like, dude, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. And
I'm an 80s whore.
Yeah, and I was telling him, I said, before I started doing the variant issue, I had my own podcast. And then when I hung up my show, I said, I'm just going to enjoy all the stuff. Not from a work standpoint, just for me. So when he put it on my radar, I added it to my Netflix queue, and just a bunch of stuff popped up along the way. And then
you watched it like 7 years later.
Yep, watched it like 7 years later. Me and my missus sat down and we watched it, and we pretty much binge watched it over a day and a half, and we were like, holy shit! And we just had a good time. It was a good feel good series. We like certain characters more than others, etc. And when I saw the second season's trailer, much like Jimbo Slice, I'm like, wow, they really went in deep. They had a lot of awesome references, a lot of shit from our respective childhoods that I'm like, wow, I remember that. And I remember, Dragon's Lair. They showed the Dragon's Lair game, which I remember when that first debuted. Everybody thought that was like the biggest advancement in video games at the time. And
dude, they're just taking me back to my fucking childhood.
Amazing.
I love that show, man.
Amazing
and the fact that it's coming out around Halloween time is so much better because I believe when the first season dropped, it dropped in the middle of like the summertime, and everybody was like, "Why the fuck would you do that,
Right.
man? Like, put it around Halloween time where it belongs."
Yep.
It just gets me. Look, man. 80s shit in the fall during Halloween time.
Yep.
The leaves are changing. Like, that's my favorite time of the year. Perfect time to drop Stranger Things. I can't freaking wait.
Yep. And this coming Friday, Voltron is back for its next season. We get to see the Netflix series debut of Prince Lotor, which should be interesting. We're gonna probably see some slight changes with the Lion pilots. Overall, looking forward to Voltron when it drops this Friday. Like Jimbo Slice said, Defenders is
only 6 episodes.
Yep.
Don't know how long the episodes are, but they're only 6.
Yep, only 6.
I can't wait because I was on the set for the Defenders a few times while they were filming. Stalking and hawking.
That's it. Don't be shocked one day, guys. No joke that you see like on season 2 or 3 of The Punisher that Jimbo Slice is fighting Frank Castle in the street somewhere.
Shut up. Shh.
But in all seriousness, it's one of those things where and I said it before, and it's cliched, but we are in a golden age of awesome shit. Like,
we really are. It's a great time to be a comic book fan and to see these things come to fruition.
Yep.
On the small screen and big screen.
Yep.
Whether you love it or hate it, it's just cool that it's happening.
Yep. Because guess what? When we were growing up in 70s, 80s, and 90s, nobody would have thought you'd see a brand new Voltron or Transformers on the big screen, whether you love it or hate it, or G.I. Joe, like buying a bucket of popcorn and sitting in a movie theater and watching a G.I. Joe movie with everybody, or watching Captain America and Iron Man and Spidey all on the screen at the same. No one could have ever seen that, ever.
On to the second segment of the show. Where's the beef?
Yep.
I know I have a major fucking beef right now.
Yes.
We were considering doing just a show. I can't fucking talk. A show entirely on this topic. We were going to do a special edition, collector's edition, but unfortunately, the person that was responsible for the documentary, he didn't have his schedule basically conflicted with the shows, so we couldn't get him on. My beef is with Bob Kane. For those who do not know, Bob Kane took the credit for creating Batman.
Yep.
Pretty much the entire time people knew Batman as the character. What's the best way to describe this?
Two talented individuals decided to partner up with one individual that was more talented than the other, lending his creative chops to bring the other individual's vision to life. The individual who contributed the bulk of the ideas gets fucked over, and the guy who does the fucking over proceeds to ride off into the sunset, reaping all the rewards, while the creative individual that was part of this endeavor just faded away into obscurity.
So basically, I heard whispers and would read things here and there about a gentleman named Bill Finger. And I finally decided to really kind of investigate more about it. Just one of those days where I didn't have a whole lot to do, and I said, let me start digging in this. And then I came across a documentary called, I believe it's called,
Batman and Bill.
Batman and Bill. And basically, it tells a story. What's the guy's name who does it?
Mark Tyler Nobleman.
There you go, Mark Tyler Nobleman. He spent an incredible amount of time and years putting this documentary together. I know that it's on Hulu. If you want to try to watch, you could ask 50 Cent how to watch.
Motherfucker.
Fucking motherfuckers, right? Just ask 50 Cent where you could watch this fucking flick. He can tell you.
Yep.
Anybody out there who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. But basically, Bob Kane, whenever you would read or see anything has to do with Batman, you would see Bob Kane's name attached with the creator of Batman, which is not the case.
Correct.
Bob Kane basically thought of an idea of Batman, but the drawing that he came up with looks nothing like what we grew up with.
Nope.
And the drawing that he came up with was a guy in a red spandex looking outfit with wings, like kind of like a bat, kind of like a demon.
Yep.
The mask, a domino mask, which for those who don't know, a domino mask is basically the little piece of I don't know, fucking leather or plastic that goes over Robin's eyes, just covers the eyes. And he knew that it was a pretty shitty creation. So he went to this guy by the name of Bill Finger, who he knew was a real creative guy. And it was Bill Finger's idea to change that entire thing. It was Bill Finger who basically said, this is not going to scare anybody. He darkened the costume. He gave him the cowl. He gave him the cape. He basically created Batman. You know, Bob Kane came up with the idea, but Mr. Finger is the one who just basically perfected the character
absolutely
into the character that we know today. And for many years, they basically had a handshake. It seemed that Mr. Finger was just a really good dude, and they didn't have anything in writing, and Bob would basically turn in all the work, and that's nothing. Bill was writing the stories.
That's right.
I got really crazy with this documentary to the point where, like, I stopped watching it, and I had to call up Rich and tell him, listen, we got to talk about this. This is fucking beyond disturbing.
Yep.
As an artist myself, I would be out of my fucking mind if someone took all my ideas and didn't at least, forget about the money, didn't at least give me the credit for it.
Yep.
And basically Bob Kane was getting paid for God knows how many years, getting paid a lot of money.
Yep.
For basically taking Mr. Bill Finger's creativity and slapping his name on it and turning that work into DC headquarters.
Pretty much.
The thing that bothered me the most when I was watching the documentary is that, and this shit really bothers me, that all this time, you know, Bob Kane was becoming not only rich, but extremely famous. And Bill just ended up passing away by himself in his apartment. And there was a point in the documentary that basically says that, you know, he died and was put in a potter's field. And what a potter's field is for people who don't have family, and there's no one to take care of them and put them in a regular cemetery. Orphans go there. Homeless people end up going into a potter's field. And when I saw that, I was out of my fucking mind.
Yep.
It turns out later on in the story, because I continued to watch, that that's not where he ended up, thank God. But the way he passed away, you know, it really bothered me. He passed away in his apartment, basically with the TV on, and the covers kind of up to his face. It's just a really fucking sad story, because I really wish that he had been alive to see him actually get the credit on the big screen and the writing. But this guy who did this documentary, he is responsible. He is responsible for Bill Finger getting the credit for all of his creations. This guy fucking did so much work.
A lot of due diligence.
I love people like him, man, because he was fucking relentless.
Yep.
He was relentless. He wasn't taking no for an answer. He wasn't letting anybody that was closing doors on him stop him from uncovering the truth. Yep. And I cannot urge you people enough to watch this freaking documentary.
Yep.
It's incredible. I had Rich come over. He watched it with me. That was probably like the 5th time I watched it. Please, 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 please watch this documentary. If you're a fan of Batman, if you're a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of artists, just watch this, because it gives the truth and the history about Batman and who really created it. You know, Bob Kane is a fucking piece of shit.
Absolutely. And we're going to go one step further. Starting with the release of this episode up until the release of the next episode, I am going to get with Jimbo Slice, and we're going to give one lucky listener or reader a copy of Bill the Boy Wonder, the secret co-creator of Batman by Mark Tyler Nobleman. Rules are real simple, and we drop the show, and we put it on social, reshare the show on your social media, tag us. Probably we'll do it through Instagram, maybe through Facebook also, we'll see. And we will announce it. We'll pick a winner at random and announce it on the episode in 2 weeks.
Let me ask you a quick question. It says Bill the Boy Wonder, the secret co-creator of Batman.
Yep.
But isn't the documentary called
Batman and Bill?
Right.
Right.
These are two different things?
Well, he did the book first, and then he released the documentary afterwards to chronicle the story within the book.
Okay.
So, but we're gonna give one listener.
One lucky listener.
Yep, is gonna get the book. You can watch the documentary on Hulu, or like Jimbo Slice said, hit up 50 Cent.
Yeah,
he'll gladly
hit up Curtis.
Yeah, he'll gladly tell you where else you can watch it. But we want to get the story out there. What happened to this guy? This creative talent was genuinely a crime, and the fact that he couldn't reap the spoils of his creativity now that Batman is everywhere is a disservice. So we want to do our part to raise awareness about this story, and we got the platform to do it. So we want to make sure one lucky listener gets their hands on the book.
Obviously, you can watch the documentary, Bill and Batman, but we definitely encourage you to read.
Yep,
we encourage you to read.
Yep, the book has really beautiful illustrations, which we got to see in Batman and Bill in the documentary. Really great job, and Mark Tyler Nobleman did just an amazing job, and he championed the rights of an individual who, if nobody stood up for him, he wouldn't have got the recognition he deserved.
It's honestly that was one of the most heartbreaking documentary / films that I've ever watched in my life.
It definitely tugged on the heartstrings, and there was a happy ending, obviously, but
kind of, sort of. You know what it is? Like I'm glad
it was a 50-50.
It wasn't. It was not for me. It wasn't, because it really bothered me that he passed away the way he did.
Oh yeah.
And then douchebag wants to fucking acknowledge what really happened. Kind of.
Well,
how many years later?
When he did that, I'm gonna dig into the crates. It reminded me of when OJ pulled I'm gonna write this book called If I Did It, when about the murder of his wife, and I'm like, get the fuck out of it. It's like, for you to loosely, backhandedly be like, oh yeah, I kind of feel that Bill was 50% responsible.
This fucking guy, Bob Kane.
Yep.
I don't know how old he would be if he was still alive today, but he would be a real old guy.
Yep.
And whether he would be 85 or 95, I think if he was still alive, I would probably seek him out and fucking cave in his fucking esophagus.
I seeing that documentary with you, and just seeing what was done to Bill Finger and how he played it.
They interviewed Kevin Smith in the film.
Yep.
They interviewed.
It was a who's who of great people.
They interviewed Todd McFarlane, and Todd really said it best. He really hit the home run. He hit the nail on the head when he said that, most artists or creators, they do it because they love what they do. They're passionate about it, and they don't think about becoming famous.
Yep.
That's kind of like the aftermath. It's like, oh, it's cool. Like, I became famous with this group of people. Where Bob Kane, he was mainly all about
doing it for the fame.
Yeah, doing it for the fame and doing it for the money. Not because he was so passionate and loved what he did, but his motive was money and fame.
Yep.
And he got a lot of that, and he made a fortune and a lifestyle off of somebody else's fucking creativity.
Absolutely.
He to me, he's the ultimate fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
I hate that fucking guy's guts, and I hate the fucking fact that his name's attached to everything Batman, period. You know what I'm saying? I fucking genuinely hate that man's guts.
Yeah, to see what was done to Bill Finger, and the way that it was orchestrated, and just taking advantage of handshake agreements, and the relationship, and the way that it was done and how it played out is just, like I said, Jimbo Slice said it best. It's a heartbreaking story, and I'm
not gonna lie to you, man. The part in the documentary when his buddy, when he talks about how he found him, how he passed away. When I first watched that shit, my levels of anger while watching the film was just increasing minute by minute. But when I actually saw his friend talk about how he found him, and you could see the tears in his eyes.
Yep, his eyes were welled up.
I was fucking getting teary eyed. Like,
oh yeah, it was heartbreaking.
Like, I want to like go to where Bob Kane is buried, dig him up, punch his fucking skeleton in the fucking face, and just throw his bones all over the fucking cemetery.
It was, it's a documentary that'll definitely, tug at the heartstrings, and it'll anger you because, what was done to Bill Finger. And it's a story that, like I said, and it even was mentioned in the documentary, everybody puts Batman and Bob Kane together, and there's such a deeper story and such a deeper narrative. And as I said before, we're doing our best to ensure that the real story gets out there.
And they go on to talk about how in 1965 was the first official Comic-Con, and it was considered the first official Comic-Con because it was the first time a show that was done where it wasn't just people selling books. There was actual, the actual creators for certain things were there. The who's who of the comic book industry at the time, and basically there's a story where these couple of guys, they walk in there and they were asked, "Do you want to meet the creator of Batman?" And like, "Oh my God, we're going to meet Bob Kane." And they're like, "Oh, they introduced Bill Finger." And they were like, "What?" That was like, and then he kind of just somehow throughout the course of time got brushed under the carpet.
Yep.
It's really, really, really fucking sad.
In basically what Bob Kane did was tell a lie long enough, it becomes truth. Basically.
And, this guy, Mr. Finger, he didn't have the type of money to fight that type of thing. And, he passed away eventually in 1974, way before that piece of shit Bob Kane did.
Yep.
I really just encourage everybody, especially you, Scavone. I know you're listening to this show. I really encourage everybody to watch that documentary. I mean, it really should enrage you as much as it enraged me. Like I said, I really want to go to Bob's gravesite, dig him up, and just fucking stomp on his bones. Fucking piece of shit. I wish I could bring him back to life and fucking give him cancer and watch him fucking die a slow, miserable death. I wish I could give his fucking cancer cells the fucking AIDS plague. Fucking cocksucker.
Jesus.
Nah, that shit was disturbing, man. I didn't like it at all. Was. I hated every minute of it. Yeah, so that's my beef for this week, Bob Kane.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo Jimbo Slice's sentiment because the documentary definitely, it touched some nerves. As a creator, I've been creating a long time, and it's, you see your shit out there, somebody else put their name on it, you just want to find them and beat the fuck out of them.
And just more so that he had the money
yep.
to help out Bill while he wasn't in good health.
Yep.
And he
could have paid him a check on the DL and
he fucking let that guy fucking die, bro.
Alone.
He'll fucking let that die alone, die basically broke.
Yep.
Like, oh my God. Yo, where is fucking Bob's fucking grave?
I don't know, but I'm sure we could find out.
Yeah. Fucking take a little fucking vacation.
Oh, Jesus.
Take a little field trip.
There
fucking guy, man. Dude, that shit just enrages me. Anyways, watch the documentary. Please just watch it. I want everybody who's in the comic books and that world to really know the truth
yep.
of that story. And there's no way to tell it better than by watching that documentary and reading this book, which we will be giving one of these lucky listeners a copy of.
That's right.
Moving on to the final segment, the third segment, the cosign time.
Yes, sir.
What do you got this week for me?
I am co-signing Atomic Blonde.
I knew that.
Starring Charlize Theron. Came out in theaters last Friday. Based on the graphic novel The Coldest City, one of two books. I actually did a little due diligence before I saw the movie and started reading the graphic novel. Basically, the short version is that Atomic Blonde follows a MI6 operative, Lorraine Broughton, who goes to Berlin. The film takes place in 1989 to retrieve the body of a dead agent who she was also secretly involved with. And the agent had on him a list that would reveal the identities of covert operatives throughout the world. Of course, the list is taken from her dead lover by rival agent, and basically the film follows her trying to get to the bottom of where this list is, who took it, and of course who killed the MI6 operative who she was in a relationship with. Very violent, has a lot of elements similar to John Wick, Jason Bourne, a little bit of the Daniel Craig 007 movies. Fight choreography was very realistic, very violent, very close quarter. But the story was awesome. But the real star of the film was the soundtrack. The film, taking place in 1989, had a lot of late 80s classics, just songs that you hear and they're just iconic for a variety of reasons. And it really added to the overall story of the film. Alongside Charlize Theron in the film was James McAvoy, who was really, really good in the film. He played a character named David Percival, who was supposed to be her contact, her MI6 contact in Berlin, and he was just, asshole dialed up to 11. The film is a really fun ride. Like I said, if you like films in the same vein as, John Wick or the Jason Bourne films, and you appreciate like really not simplistic, but just really cut and dry spy films, you will appreciate Atomic Blonde. Like I said, based on the graphic novel The Coldest City. It's one of 2 books that are out for it. You can pick those up. I'll put links in the description for this episode, and you can also check out the review for the film on rageworks.net also.
That's your only cosign for this week?
Yeah, that's the one that jumps out.
I actually have a couple.
Right.
I made a new friend who happens to be extremely passionate and very talented. If you want, like, all right, so how do you pronounce this again? The fondant?
Fondant.
Right?
Yes.
Fondant cakes, which, I know very little about. I just know it's a lot of work. This girl, Christy, makes some amazing fondant cakes. I was showing Rich before we started, recording the show, this Pac-Man cake that she did that looks exactly like the video game.
Yeah, that is really good.
Basically comes to life on a freaking cake. I don't know how the hell she does this. Between that, the Mets cake, my personal favorite, she doesn't even know, but the Peter Pan cake that she did with the Never Grow Up, with the hat, with the feather. Like, Peter Pan is one of my favorite characters and favorite movies of all time. Like, this really, she hit a home run with this one. She has no idea. But if you want custom cakes done, you can check her out on Instagram. It's custom_cakes_by_ there's a lot of underscores, huh?
Yep.
Christy. And that's Christy with a K. All right. So her name is Christy Mayer. It's custom_cakes_by_ Christy with a K. Kristy. Go check her out on Instagram. She's extremely, extremely talented, and she's extremely passionate about what she does. And I love that about her. I love people who are passionate about whatever it is they do in life. I find people who don't necessarily have, not even don't collect things, but don't have a passion for something, that really just don't love something. I find people like that very fucking boring. Like, you're an interesting guy. You have a lot of passions.
Yep.
Whether it's the computers, the video games, the comic books, you have a lot of interest. You're an interesting guy. Me and you, we could fucking talk for freaking weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's just easy to talk with you. It's easy to get along. I find people that are not into something very fucking dull and boring. And she's not a dull and boring person. Very interesting person. And it made me really start talking to her. She has a very interesting tattoo on her forearm. She has a tattoo of a whisk. And I was like, what? I mean, I pretty much, I figured out that, she has to do something with cooking, right?
Right.
And she's like, oh, I'm a baker. I bake things. And I was like, wow, to the point where you felt the need to get a tattoo. For me, all my ink has severe meaning to me.
Yep.
So, I kind of connected with her. But when I took a look at her Instagram, I was like, holy shit, this is no joke. And it's a lot of work involved with that stuff. So if you're looking to get a custom cake done, that is the person you want to see, because believe me, I tell you, she does some incredible work, and she just doesn't slop stuff out, man. She wants to do things correctly, and she wants to satisfy the customer. So definitely I'm co-signing Christy for Custom Cakes by Christy. Also, I'm going to keep on talking about it until it happens. Sunday, August 20th, Long Island Comic Book Expo, Rockville Center, over at the Best Western. That's me and my buddy Greg's show. Come down. We're going to have not one, but two, two very special guests, which I'm not announcing yet. We have an artist alley that's stacked with amazing talent. We just signed on a vendor, my buddy Donnie, who his booth / table is going to be strictly dedicated to He-Man and Masters of the Universe. I love that idea that it's just that and that only. We have some amazing comic book dealers. We're going to have Silver Age books. We're going to have Golden Age books. We're going to have current books. We will have variants. We will have action figures and statues and those plastic fucking little pieces of shit pops. We will have our buddy Cliff Lee in the house selling, all kinds of clothing and shirts, comic book related stuff. It's not this huge, extravagant, con. It's going to be a very, very humble yet very quality show. I promise it's going to be a good time. We hired a woman to, paint kids' faces, whatever character they want to do. I'm hoping to have another balloon guy there to do the balloons for the characters for the kids. And it ain't just for kids. You know what? Maybe I might get my face painted that day.
I might too.
I'm there to have a good time as well as run the show. Come check out Rich and meet Rich from the show, because he will be manning our booth. We'll have our own table in our booth. Rich will be, selling off a lot of the shit that I wish he would be keeping, but his own personal comic book stash and whatever other goodies he plans on bringing. I got some tricks up my sleeve of what I'm bringing that day for the show, for the table. But we have all very, very, very quality vendors. It is free parking. It is within a few feet, literally a few feet away from the Long Island Railroad. So, if you don't have a car, you could take the train right to the hotel and just literally get off the train and walk into the hotel. Everything is very accessible. There are plenty of places to eat in Rockville Center.
Yep.
It's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., so we're giving you the bulk of the day, and it's on a Sunday, which most people, not all, but most people are off on Sundays. So please come down, have a great time. We're making it super affordable. It's only $5 for the entry fee. You can actually purchase tickets early through the website that we posted.
Yep.
Which I'm sure Rich will put every link for that on the show notes on his website, rageworks.net.
Yep.
And those are the two things that I'm co-signing this week.
Yep. And you know what it is? I co-signed the film, and for, Jimbo Slice to co-sign the Long Island Comic Book Expo, I didn't need to co-sign it. You want to know why? Because I'm all in. So, for me to co-sign something that I'm all in for me, it's no necessity. We ride together, we die together, So for me, this is something Jimbo Slice has been incredibly passionate about for the longest time, and he kept telling me, dude, I'm gonna do my own show. I'm gonna do my own show. And here we are. Jimbo Slice is doing his own show. So if you're in the 5 boroughs, and if you're not, if you're making a trip out to New York and you want to check out something cool, going back to grassroots, going back to what made cons fun and enjoyable for everybody, making it about the books, the collectibles, and everything associated with it, take that Sunday, head out to Rockville Center, and definitely check it out. Links for that will be, of course, as he stated, in the show notes for this episode. And, of course, you can check it out on social media because Jimbo Slice has been sharing it. And also you can find the Long Island Comic Book Expo on Instagram with plenty of pictures keeping you up to date on what's going on from cosplayers and independent artists and a couple of guests that will also be at the show.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell and drop the bomb of who we locked down for the show. But it's a little bit of a nod, this show, to the old school comic book shows that me and Rich talk about from time to time.
Yep.
With an updated format, an updated version, and everything that has to do with this show and that's associated with this expo is comic book related. You're not going to walk into our event and have a porn star next to a wrestler, next to a guy selling like knives and swords. That's not the case here. Everything is comic book related, family friendly, and I'm making it super affordable. And I want the kids. That's another thing too. Kids 10 and under are free. Yep. And I want to see the kids there. I want to see the kids smiling. I know all my friends' kids are coming dressed up, So, and it's just a good day for the family. Period. It's going to be a really, really, really fun event, and I appreciate anybody who shows up to this show because I plan on doing more of these.
That is the goal, ladies and gents. And of course, we will keep you updated on all developments related to the Long Island Comic Book Expo, whether on air through the variant issue or on the site as well.
Well, you know what, man? That's wow. I can't believe this. Episode 20 is bagged and boarded. So all the nerds, geeks, mutants, and freaks, we appreciate every one of you who listened to the show. And wow, man, more than half this year's gone, and it's episode 20. This is crazy.
That's it. Onwards to episode 25 and 30. All right, guys, we will catch you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.